Welcome! We will take an overview of several issues that make up classroom diversity and take a deeper dive into the issue of the role of religion as a diversity issue. We'll cover some of the pertinent standards followed by the Virginia Department of Education that govern classroom behaviors, and we'll take a look at forming a welcoming classroom where all students can have an equally welcoming and accepting environment for learning. There are several diversity issues in 2018, which I will cover briefly here. Gender equality issues of the greater society are present in the schoolroom. No longer are we concerned only with female-male equality issues, but LGBT issues are in our classrooms. In Virginia, Hispanics make up 16%, blacks 24%, whites 49%. Our Virginia schools are very diverse. In a moment, we'll look at some hard numbers for local schools. Adolescents of immigrants, nationally 25%, or 18.7 million students, have at least one immigrant parent. Social economic status. I'll show some stark differences between two schools that are not far from each other. At-risk students, 13%, or 145,000 Virginians, have learning disabilities. Gifted students, how do we serve them in the same classes, and students of various religious or non-religious beliefs? So let's put some hard numbers to diversity in Virginia, and in particular, we'll focus on two schools that are both 10 miles from my house. Hispanics are now the biggest minority in Virginia. At Falling Creek, white students are the small minority. Blacks and Hispanics are more of a minority at Swift Creek, as you can see. But if we look at social economic differences between our two schools, we see a difference that a few miles can make between median household income, the percent below poverty level, the percent economically disadvantaged, the percentage of single-parent households, and foreign-born populations. And these differences are rather stark. But let's take a deeper dive into classroom diversity issues that center around religion. Unlike your gender or your country of origin or your social economic position, practicing or not practicing religion is essentially a matter of personal choice. It can be divisive. There have been countless religious wars and many recent conflicts that roll into the family home. In current events, the national anthem, the Pledge of Allegiance have all stirred religious controversy, as does prayer in school and assignments that might violate a student's beliefs. They're always present. If there is a place where we can work towards creating a welcoming classroom environment, it could be approaching the topic of religion. Both practitioners and non-practitioners of religion are protected by the Constitution, and these protections are reflected in the laws of Virginia and the rules of the Virginia Department of Education, and we will cover some of those guidelines that must be followed in the schools. Jefferson wrote the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom in 1777. He said that our civil rights have no dependence on our religious opinions any more than our opinions in physics or geometry. No man shall be compelled to frequent or support any religious worship, nor suffer on account of his religious opinions. Their opinions in matters of religion shall in no way diminish, enlarge, or affect their civil capacities. The Virginia Assembly has been very clear in their policies, and I will follow these policies, including number 4, that public schools should thoughtfully consider any religious objection to its practices or policies made by parents or students. Number 6, the public schools are not required to conform their curriculum to every religious tenet or objection. On the other hand, while their curriculum must not be designed to promote religious belief or non-belief, it need not be sanitized of all religious reference or themes which may appear in educational materials. 16, in the absence of disruption to school activities, obscenity, or lewdness, these and other expressions of belief will generally constitute protected speech. Public school personnel may not discipline students because they disagree with the underlying message, but may take reasonable action needed to promote order and address any disruptive effect of such student speech. So how do we keep the classroom legal and the students respected? I am convinced by research for the classroom by Tashalis and Nakula, whose findings report that being both supportive and having high expectations is the ideal classroom environment. intrinsic self-regulation is much more effective than external motivators at affecting true engagement. But they also go on to say achievement motivation is the product of school structures, relationships, and social interactions, not just an internal process. To be able to use that learning and influence issues that matter to them, students need to participate substantively. They need to practice leading in contexts that provide autonomy, agency, and the personalized attention of caring adults. Voice is important for adolescents who are developing their sense of identity and aptitude for higher thinking. But then we have the Center for Teaching trying to say what the ideal classroom would be like. Yes, the first four sound very sound, that all students can learn. We need to build safe environments and adapt to student needs and value good citizenship. But the last one says to associate with like-minded peers according to the child's preference. I cannot support this. So where do I stand on this? It's simple. In the welcoming and productive classroom, we celebrate the individual. We all thrive in the same space, no matter the skin color, country of origin, or belief system. We strengthen the individual, we give them a voice, and we listen to it. In 1992, Rodney King famously asked, "Can we all just get along?" And the real answer needs to be yes. Concluding thoughts, students are not equal and students are not the same. There is a great thing in diversity, and we must recognize, honor, and celebrate their diversity. We must develop our students into strong individuals who know their voice and use it. SWOT analysis is something done in business, and because students are diverse, we should help them know their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We need to help them maximize their strengths and minimize their weaknesses. My philosophical vision for the classroom is simple. From many, one. It's the model of our country and emblazoned on our first national seal. It says E pluribus unum, again, which means from many, one.